Hello, everyone. I'm Dramona. Today's story is proof that some mysteries may never be solved. Dave was an ex-Marine who suffered from a severe mental health disorder after experiencing the many horrors of war. He loved animals, exploring and discovering new things. In fact, he lived for it since he very much enjoyed being alone in nature to de-stress from the perils of everyday life. Dave usually went on these trips alone, but once in a while he would be accompanied by his best friend Gib, whom he said he met during his time in the Marines. On one of his explorations, Dave came across a cave, and as he'd always been fascinated with caves, it took no convincing for him to explore it. However, the closer he got to the entrance of the cave, the sicker he felt. Something deep down told him it was a bad idea and he needed to leave. Just as he felt he was about to pass out, he decided not to go any further and left. When he returned home, Dave told his brother about his experience. His brother warned him not to go near that cave again, and if he was ever so foolish to do so, he should definitely not attempt to go in, or he will never make it back out. When he told Gib, however, Gib was adamant that they needed to return and explore the cave. So off they went a few days later, but when they got to the place where the cave should have been, it was nowhere to be found. Gib became upset, as he was sure Dave had made the whole thing up as a way to make his adventure seem more interesting, and although Dave stuck to his story, Gib just did not believe him. They returned home without experiencing the thrill they'd initially expected, which left Dave very disappointed and determined to prove to Gib that he was not lying. He told his mother he was going to visit the cave and would be back to see her in a few days. But as he had never told her about his prior experience at the last cave he'd been to, she thought there was no need to worry. After all, he's been going off on his own and exploring caves since he was a teenager. After a week passed and he did not contact his family, they became a bit unsettled, but thought maybe he just decided to prolong his trip a bit and had no cell phone reception in the area he was staying. After a week and a half, Dave's mom told his brother he went to visit a cave, which made him panic and prompted him to report Dave missing to the authorities. A search and rescue team went out looking for him, but they only found his campsite and some of his belongings. Although they continued the search for several more days, their efforts were unsuccessful. As Gib was just a pigment of Dave's imagination, the question that may forever linger in our minds is, what exactly happened to Dave?